Hey guys, we're going to do a quick unboxing. Sorry it's been a while. Had some flooding in my office actually, so let's just look at how they pack it. This is the Zombicide White Death Kickstarter. Sorry, this is upside down. Packing wise, looks like it's packed great. Gives you some buffer if the box gets damaged. Now let's get it out and look at the contents of Zombicide White Death, as well as the Kickstarter exclusive Frozen Fortress. Okay, let's open it up and see what we have inside. This is the White Death box. I believe this is the same thing you'll get if you buy this retail. I'll do the Kickstarter box here in a little bit. Okay, we got our rules, same as the other Zombicide stuff I've ever had. I do have Zombicide Black Plague, and I enjoy playing it quite a bit with friends. I highly recommend Zombicide as a good game for having friends over, and you can even play yourself. No one controls the zombies, so you can technically play this alone if you're, or with just your significant other, or how many other people you want, really. Okay. We have tokens. I just knocked one out. Oh wow, this actually seems like quite a bit of map tiles. I want to say it comes with more possible maps than the original Black Plague Zombicide. I'll have to check that. And then we got the core set minis here, which I'm sure a lot of you this is what you're here for. You got your character cards. They look the same as any Zombicide character cards. At least the Black Plague ones. And then you got your zombies and characters. You got these, which are... Actually, I don't know what this is. I'll have to look in the rules to see what that is. Some sort of token. These are exactly the same as the prior Zombicide stuff, it looks like. When I say Zombicide, I mean Zombicide Black Plague, of course. You've got your cards. So, something interesting about Black Plague is you have these guards that you can also set up, although, are those zombies? Some of their poses almost make these guys look like zombies, but I believe they are just archers. You got your Abomination, which we should have a bunch more options for Abominations in the Frozen Fortress. And then you got a few zombies. Let's look at our characters, though. Detail looks good. I don't know if that was flashing or... We got, I'm assuming, some sort of sorceress. Here. Actually, let me... This would probably be a better backdrop. No, brown on brown doesn't work. Whatever. You got a tiger guy. He looks cool. Honestly, you could... You got a tiger guy here. Come on, zoom. Okay, maybe this is the ideal distance. Detail's looking great on these. I mean, Zombicide's always had pretty good detail. I believe, I don't know if they've changed, they use kind of a PVC material similar to like Reaper Minis. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm not seeing any crazy mold lines. You do have a little injection mark right here on the knee, it looks like. Nothing you're not used to if you've ordered any Zombicide before, or Reaper Minis, or any kind of one piece and minis like this. Ooh, he looks cool. I imagine this is your Necromancer. Oh, that's cool. He's kind of floating on ethereal skulls. Let's take a look at our Abomination. This one I'm not as impressed by. I just don't like the face details on this, personally. See if we can't get those little... They seem a little soft to me. Which, generally you want the sharpest details on in the face. Let's look at the guards real quick. And one thing to know about Zombicide, you don't have to paint any of it. I don't think anyone I know, I mean, my buddies each have various versions of Zombicide and none of them have painted it. It doesn't really hurt the gameplay at all. I will say painting things is nice. Kind of gives you a little more immersion, but let's look at some of the zombies here. Okay, so I'm kind of wondering what the difference in the light gray and the dark gray is. So these are dark gray. It looks like there's only 2 poses of these dark gray. And you have a number of poses in the light gray. Little zombie soldiers. Love the armor on these. And keep in mind, this is all still just the core set that's basically the same as what you'd get retail. To be fair, this has been out longer than the Kickstarter's been out, because for whatever reason they decided to release the core set before releasing what people pre-ordered. Not a fan of that decision personally, but we're not going to get into it here. So the fatties are some interesting sculpts as well. Now let's move on. Okay, let's take a look at the Frozen Fortress. So it has a lot of stuff in it. Now let's get it out of the plastic first so it's not just reflective. Alright, so this is the Kickstarter exclusive they call the Frozen Fortress. It comes with a whole bunch of extra characters, as well as some extra abominations and various zombie sculpts. So let's take a look. So let's see. It's got new abominations. I believe they each, yeah, they have their own rules. So this is to spice up your games, give you a little more variety. I will say, I love Zombicide, it's a fun game, but it does get a little repetitive after a while, so it's nice to have stuff like this. So, if you saw, it came with 6 character cards before. This comes with, I think it said 70 on the back of the box, additional characters, as well as more equipment, more things you can draw. So let's take a look at the first layer here. Alright, let's take a look at the Frozen Fortress miniatures. So the brown ones are going to be your characters, and the gray are zombies. So keep that in mind. I'm not going to go through each and every one like I did with the core set. Sure, you can still find people who are going to resell the Kickstarter after the fact, but I think the vast majority of people, if you're looking at this, are probably going to be buying retail. Everything in this, from what I understand, should be compatible with former versions of Black Plague. Or the fantasy line. Black Plague, Green Horde. This one's called White Death. I need to figure out where they get their tape from. Here we go. I'm going to try to get this to zoom in as best I can to show off the detail. I'll just kind of pan that. Definitely some cool characters in here. The White Death one is more Oriental Chinese themed, from what I can tell. I know a lot of the characters draw inspiration from the War of Three Kingdoms in China. Whoa. Alright. Let's get the next one. And this one's going to have a few zombies in it as well, it looks like. And I've played a fair bit of Zombicide, and it's always a lot of fun. It's a pretty simple game sequence for it. Alright, so let's take a look at these. Looks like you have a few necromancers options, or villain options, or whatever you want to call it. As well as your heroes, which, yeah, just at a glance, all the sculpts look really good. I always enjoy cool mini or nots sculpting. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's interesting. Sorry. A couple things caught my eye. I wanted to look at it a little closer. Let's grab. And this one looks like it's abominations. And that is that is a behemoth. This guy here, holy cow. He's gonna be fun to paint. I actually he may replace my main villain for a D&D campaign. But yeah, that's all I got to show you today. Just wanted to do a quick rundown of what comes in the boxes. Thanks, guys. Bye.